Let's get back to Mike Tomlin, shall we? And the Matt Canada question that didn't involve the name Matt Canada. Was this Aditi or Brooke Pryor? I can't remember who asked the
not
question.
Around here anymore.
Was it Brooke?
I don't think it was Brooke. I'm not sure.
Do you have the question and the answer?
I do, yes.
Is the question legible?
Fairly.
Yeah, because I missed it when it was asked. I think Joe did,
We'll play
too.
it once, and then we'll see how it goes. How
Okay,
about that?
let's do that.
Mike, this offense has been a big talking point. You said in the past that you're open to change if it would produce better outcomes. Why is now not the time to make a change?
Because I don't feel like I'm there.
Why is now not the time to make a change?
With the offense.
Yeah, clearly that's referencing Canada.
Yeah, you're not going back to Trubisky at this
Without
point.
saying his name. Yeah.
Right.
Because I don't feel like I'm there is hardly a ringing endorsement of Matt Canada. I'll say that.
Yeah, could have
if someone was
with...
asking about my job security and whether they were going to change, and my boss said, well, I really don't feel like I'm there, that's not a ringing endorsement.
Ask me again at the bye week. I may be there next week.
I think he could be there. I think he could be there by then. I mean,
especially if they score 10 points again this week.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
I think this is a big week for Matt Canada. I mean, we've reached a point, we've been over this, that one season is a lifetime in the NFL. This guy's working on 1.5 now. He's going to be, would be his 19th game? Yeah.
18,
or 20.
18 last year, right?
Okay, including the playoff game, yeah.
18 and then 6, 24.
24 games.
No, they're 2-5, 25.
25. That's a long time in this league, and this offense has stunk from the first minute he walked in. I mean, it's just it's a league-wide laughingstock. You can go anywhere. Merrill Hodge, amateur offense is what he basically called it. Said Pitt had more of a pro-style offense. Dan Orlovsky, what are they running? 10 plays. Guy on the. Do we have the quote from Brad Spielberger this morning? Let's hear that one,
yes.
Folsey, from Pro Football
it's a
Focus.
High school offense. I saw there was some quote somewhere that said calling this a high school offense would be an insult to high school offenses. I mean, yeah, it's just so dumbed down.
He went on for a bit. Anywhere you look, former players, media people, anywhere you go, Ron, this is a subject because the Steelers haven't
scored any points.
They don't score.
Right. And it doesn't
Thank
matter.
God for the Denver Broncos and their disaster with Nathaniel Can't Hackett and Russell Wilson. If not for them, the Steelers would be the lowest scoring team in the league.
And it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
No, the only time they ever score is when they chuck the game plan and they're coming back or they're in a hurry up mode. That's it.
You know what's interesting with Mike Tomlin too that I just thought about is that this is the most losing that he's ever going to have to deal with or ever has dealt with in his career, right? As this season goes on, as it progresses toward that losing season, this is the first time we're really watching him and how patient he really is when he's losing a bunch of games. And I just wonder how patient he is.
In terms of firing people?
Yes.
Yeah.
In terms of making those changes that he always hints at. But in the past, he always kind of got things together and they made a run.
But other than what can he do? What kind of changes can he?
That's a pretty big one.
He's
the coordinator.
No. Other than that, he changed the quarterbacks already. What else can he do? You know, you can't really bring in 12 new guys.
You mean during the season, right now?
Yeah, right now.
Nothing.
I mean, he did.
Nothing.
He made the second or first most important change you can make. Now, is quarterback more important than quarterback? I mean, the coordinator more important than quarterback? That's about the only other one he can do.
Yeah.
And you have to promote from the staff.
Mike Tomlin was completely married to Mitch Trubisky from the second Trubisky got here. When was that? March?
March
March
17th, I think.
The Lanny Fratteri incident? He said, basically gave him the keys to the ignition and was completely convicted on the guy, Ron. And he only lasted 3.5 games. Why did that happen?
I don't know. Spark down to the Jets at halftime. The Jets were an embarrassment then. They're not so much of an embarrassment now. I don't know.
Why did he suddenly just give it up?
The incident at halftime, with Trubisky and Deontay have something to do with it?
Man, if it does, it doesn't say a lot about Tomlin. I mean, this is what did he expect from Trubisky?
I don't think he expected this offense to be this bad.
He didn't make any, and I'm not defending Trubisky. Please, I'm trying to get inside Tomlin's head. And when you have this plan, I remember the Jay Glazer story. He doesn't want to switch quarterbacks. He's committed to Trubisky. When did he become uncommitted? What did he expect? The guy completed about 61% of his passes. Not much happened, but he also didn't turn the ball over. I mean, I don't think that this whole season reflects positively on Tomlin. I really don't.
Of course not. They're 2-5. That can't possibly reflect good on them.
But it's way it's way deeper than that. I mean, they could be 2-5 because of crappy. If Ben was off to a crappy start or something. But the fact that he was completely convicted on this guy, Ron, and gave up after 3.5 games to go to the rookie. I'm just curious why that happened, and the fact that he doubled down on Matt Canada and brought him back. It's not your ordinary bad start. It's a bunch of horrendous decisions here that this guy has made.
I just mentioned 2-5. You don't think this start is a horrible reflection on Belichick in New England? They're 3-4 without an offensive coordinator. Don't know who the quarterback is. They benched their number 1 pick from last year to go to, what's his name, Bailey, Zuppe, whatever. Zappy, whatever his name is. It's a horrible reflection on him, too.
Well, what does that have to do with Tomlin?
I'm just saying that.
I mean, there's Belichick. Belichick, I think, hires pretty good coaches, don't you?
If you consider what was the guy's name in the Detroit coach that puts a pencil behind his ear, Patricia? Is that a good hire, bringing him in and letting him call the plays? He's getting.
They weren't complaining about it last week when they rose to 3-3 and he scored 29 points.
I hear you.
Why are we comparing Belichick and Tomlin?
You poo-pooed my saying the record is 2-5. I'm just saying
I didn't poo. They're 2-5, but it's bigger than the record. It's hiring crappy coaches.
Nothing is bigger.
It is bigger than the record. It is. In fact, he's not even playing for a record right now.
Yeah.
He's playing a young quarterback over a guy who, you could argue, gives him a better chance to win.
I think that's fair to argue that.
It's not even about this season. It's about now a 12-year string of seasons where he probably underachieved with a franchise quarterback, doesn't seem to really have a knack for hiring coaches at all.
Certainly not offensive line coaches.
You asked why he made the move.
Or offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
You asked why he made the move and did it so early. I'm convinced that it was much easier to take out a journeyman quarterback and put in a first-round quarterback to try to get some life out of the offense than it was to make a change at offensive coordinator. To rip that guy out.
Maybe.
But the only change he can make is turn the play calling over to Sully. He can't bring
I know.
somebody
They're
else
screwed
in.
for this season. They're screwed. I totally
he could
believe
totally, say Sully knows it's the same offense.
Right.
Maybe the play calling would be different.
You can't totally overhaul it.
But the verbiage wouldn't be any different. He could turn it over to Sully. That's about all he could do.
And maybe Sully would have a different way of relating to this kid. We've talked about Matt Canada and personal relations, right?
Well, Sully has to relate to him every day as his quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
Probably has a closer relationship to him than Canada does.
He might. So, man, I just think things have gotten worse and worse. And again, I mean, he better have gotten it right with Pickett. Do you think he wanted to play Pickett this early?
Not according to everything that, that I read and heard, no.
Is he doing any damage by playing him this early?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so that way. I mean, again, if Pickett isn't strong enough mentally to handle some failures, he's probably not going to be strong enough to win you a Super Bowl somewhere down the road. So, no, I don't think he's damaging him at all.
I agree, but then why not just play him from the start?
Well,
in Tomlin's mind, there had to have been a reason. If he wanted to sit Pickett, what was the reason? And are you now compromising that reason if you're Mike Tomlin?
I just think he wanted to give Trubisky a shot. They signed him as a veteran. They brought him in with a 2-year deal. He has the experience. Give him a shot, see how it goes. Didn't go real well. But I'm not sure that's Trubisky's fault. Might be the play calling.
I think your main priority should be Pickett, not Trubisky. I don't care. Once they draft Pickett, Trubisky's an afterthought. I don't give a crap about giving him a chance.
But the basic thing is that you're best off to let him learn on the bench until you
until
you decide that you can't, that isn't
now
going to
he's
be
compromised that.
Yeah,
So-
but would it probably be better if he was sitting a little longer? Yeah, maybe. But is it damaging him by playing him now? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But obviously, Tomlin had a reason why he wanted to sit Pickett. And if that reason was it's best to learn on the bench, well, now he's compromised that. I'm trying to get into his head. Of course, he's the one who's doubling down on Matt Canada after hiring Randy Fiechner, after hiring Adrian Clem and having him quit in the middle of the season. I mean, this is just, the whole thing is such a mess right now.
And
It
Ike
truly
Hilliard.
is.
Ike Hilliard, who left too, wide receivers coach.
Maybe because of Canada,
That's
right,
what
Ron?
I heard. I think that I think there were 3 guys that left, right? Maybe not.
Bring back Canada for another year just to see what happens. Wouldn't you be curious?
Eventually, this system's going to work, right?
I don't think that's going to happen.
We'll get it together. Then do it now. Do it now, just like you switch quarterbacks. Have him work with Sully and do it during the bye week, I should say. Not like
Right.
today.
Not today.